So tell me, have you ever thought about that side business that's going to give you the time and money freedom? Have you been thinking about making that leap of faith into something of your own, a dream, a big, big, big goal that you've never thought possible? You keep dreaming about it, yet you don't know how to get it starting or building a startup from the ground up. If that is you, and if you've been dreaming about doing this, well, I brought you the right person who is going to tell you all about it. She's going to spill the beans, and now it's my time to pick her brains. We have the one and only Dr. Hanan Al Mheri. Stay tuned. We're going to start right now. She's going to help us with the three mindset tips or tricks to get started. Let's go. Hello, hello, good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are picking this broadcast from the Quantum Leadership Hacks. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I'm so excited tonight. You can see I am excited because this is going to be a very, very special session. What are we talking about tonight? We are talking about building a startup from the ground up. Have you ever thought about that? So if you are in a 9 to 5, or if you are, working somewhere, and then you think, oh, I wonder how is it going to be if I worked for myself, or if I made my own money and worked my own time and did all of these things, and then you don't know where to get started. Tonight we are discussing that, and we are going to give you tips and tricks and ways and what it takes to build the startup from the ground up. My guest is very special. We are talking about Dr. Hanan Al Mheri. I'm bringing her on stage, and Dr. Hanan, with more than 17 years experience as a leader in Dubai, in UAE, and as a deputy senior manager, as a knowledge management professional. But tonight she is wearing the hat. She is so, and we are so proud of her, which is the CEO of Hanan Empire. Please help me welcome Dr. Hanan Al-Mheri to our broadcast tonight. Hanan, come on in on the call. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Nabila. Thank you so much for hosting me today. I really appreciate it.
I love it. Where do I start? So many things, so many areas to get started from. But first of all, Hanan, by way of intro, give us a little bit about your background and your initial career.
Okay, I started actually my career in 2007 in government entity in the area of knowledge management. And then I went to another government entity for 13 years now. I am working on knowledge management. The last 2 years, I was exposed to new functions of innovation management, where I was blessed to work with very exciting and dynamic teams. So I have total of 17 years of experience in the government in those areas, in addition to my PhD studies, which focused on leadership, organizational culture, and knowledge sharing behavioral intentions among employees in the organization.
Oh, I love it. That's a ton of things. But Hanan, tell me, let's start from the beginning. Hanan, can you tell us a little bit about your journey in the traditional, so to speak, workplace or workforce? what motivated, ya Hanan, what motivated you to transition from the 9 to 5? Of course, you are on the way to complete transition, but let's call it this way. What motivated you to transition or to even consider transitioning from a 9 to 5 to job into starting your own business, or shall I say, to starting your own empire? And how did you prepare for this significant shift?
First of all, Doctor, I really love my job in the government, and I really appreciate it because I get exposed to beautiful minds. I work with different personalities, and I learn a lot of lessons on daily basis. But what made me really start my own business on the side is that my passion, actually, it's like a life calling. I think this is closer to like a passion, but also it's a life calling. So I worked with many coaches, and one of my coaches, she helped me a lot to uncover like what were my passion, and she gave me really good exercises in order to know those, to know what was my passion. So I was a professional trainer for many years in both organizations. And I used to enjoy training a lot. And then when I did this exercise, the outcomes that I was getting is that I was getting two, let's say, major responses that Dr. Hanan, you are a great leader, or Dr. Hanan, we love your sessions whenever you are doing trainings or workshops. We love really to come and join. And we cannot wait until you come and you they love like my presentation skills and all of that. And then I tried to experiment some more, and then I felt that people are leaning to my advice. They like to listen to me, they like to take my input in various topics. So I explored the world of coaching. When I explored the world of coaching, I found it's really amazing to make an impact in people's life. Even if you impact one person, you feel really this fulfillment that you were able to change his or her perspective. Because a lot of people, you know, doctor, we are dealing with challenges all the time, and a lot of us go through trauma and bad situation and unfortunate events. So a lot of people will have this doubt about themselves, self-talk that is dark. They are in a dark place, and how you can grab them and take them to the safe area where they can invest in themselves. This is, in my opinion, is very fulfilling.
I love it. I love it. And I love the way you somehow capitalize on that experience where you came to explore really, really, really what is it that you want? What is it that you have like a natural inclination to do, and you found your natural inclination to lead, and a natural inclination, so to speak, to for professional training, for showing people the way, for enlightening people. And it's very, very important that we do that exploration, because it's going to really enlighten what is it that you are going to do further down the road. And I think it's very important that when we explore this about ourselves, it's not a one time process, it's a continuous process. And once in a while, like, we need to come back and we need to further explore this about ourselves, because we are not trees. We can move in different directions. We can decide to go further here or further there. So, first of all, really, really the importance of really exploring what you are good at and what you are passionate about. I'm not saying that's the only thing, but one of the important things is when you start doing something that you really, really love. But Dr. Hanan, tell me, you know, every entrepreneurial journey comes with its challenges. I mean, we are not going to paint another picture that, oh, yeah, time and money freedom, and it's easy peasy, and you just start, and it's going to be that. Of course, it's going to come with a price to pay, with challenges. Do you remember the early, because I do remember them because I was there.
Yes.
Do you remember the early days when you started kind of wrestling with the idea, with this idea that you want to give birth to, which is the Hanan Empire? What were the challenges? What were the? Tell us a little bit about the initial fears and worries, and oh my God, and the self doubt. Tell us a little bit about that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nabila. Actually, Dr. Nabila was one of my coaches during those dark times. As you may know, I will not mention them, of course, in the call, but I was going through a personal situation in my life, and it was very challenging period in my life. And because I had great coaches, I was able to skip through all of these challenges. So I think one of the best ways, if you want to start up something, it is good to have the best coaches on your side in order to give you energy, to direct you, because sometimes when we are on those challenging times in our life, we don't value ourselves, we don't value our talent, maybe we might not see our strengths as our coaches are going to see them, and they are going to give us this extra push. So I thank you, Dr. Nabila. You are one of those people who give me this extra push. And also, one of the things, as you mentioned, like, what did I sacrifice? I sacrificed my time. I was thinking about, okay, I wake up from 6:30. My duty finishes at 2:30. Sometimes I am late until 3 or 3:30, depending on my work. So can I commit more hours in order to give this birth, to this new project? So it was a lot of things. Can I do it alone? Can I do it with a simple budget? Can I do it with, like with the least amount of, financial? I heard a lot about. We have, mashallah, a lot of leaders in the UAE. For example, Mr. La'bar. He talked about his daughter and how she started jewelry business from home, and I think this was a very inspiring for me to start something. I don't have to invest that much. Of course, I invested, but I don't have to invest a lot of things in order to have the office, in order to have everything. So sometimes I think when we tend to complicate things as humans. No, we cannot do it that because we don't have a space. We cannot do that because we cannot pay for this. But alhamdulillah, يعني, especially for the people who are living in the UAE, opening a new business, I don't think it's became more easier than now. I think those were the thoughts that came to me at the beginning. And one of the things also I was thinking, okay, there are many coaches. I don't know if you remember our conversation, Dr. Nabila. Like
Sure.
there are many coaches. Why would I go and again provide some coaching? So there were a little bit of questions that I had to ask myself before I commit to this journey.
I love it. I love it. I love the way you talk about this. And it's very true. At the beginning, thoughts like, what is it I am going to add to the field? And is it just I'm going to be another name or another coach in the field? And actually, as you may have experienced firsthand, ya Hanan, is that there is only one Hanan. There is only one Hanan Al Mehri, and the kind of service that you are giving your clients is unique because you are not Nabila, and Nabila is not Hanan. So each one of us is bringing that perspective. For example, with your PhD in business, you I'm sure you bring a lot of business acumen and a lot of background into the business and the businessy side of things. My background in metacognition, or the mind, or psychology plus education, of course, that kind of strength, allows me to do certain things with my clients in terms of helping them understand. So there is always that unique you. There is always that unique you, and you cannot be a copy of anyone. You are unique, and you are bringing something new to the table. And it's just a matter of digging deep into what is it that makes me unique as Hanan, or as Nabila, or anything. Um, of course, and the importance of coaches is you just talked about that. Hanan,
Yes.
uh, so I was going to talk because the challenges and obstacles, people think, oh, I can't do this because I don't have an office. I can't do this because I don't have CR, or commercial. I can't do this because I am in a job that doesn't allow me. Oh, I can't do this because I don't have the time. It's going to mean after hours I'm going to carve. How did you reconcile that? You said something very important. We complicate things, but things are much, much simpler than that. And if there is anything in common, both Hanan and I started our businesses from probably our bedrooms or from home, right?
Yes.
And that's very true. The problem, would you agree with me, Hanan, that a lot of the people who aspire to start a startup or something, they get caught up in the how. They get
Mm,
caught up in the how, for example, and they get caught up in comparisons. Like, oh, I'm not like Hanan. Look at Hanan. She is in that Nimr building, or what, and she's happily drinking her Starbucks, and I'm not that. I'm in a different place. You see what I mean? We get caught up with our, where we are startup with somebody else's few years of, advancement in the business. For
yes.
example, the point I'm driving home is that we shouldn't be comparing ourselves when we start with somebody who's been 7 years in the field, 10 years in the field, 15 years in the field. It's like comparing yourself, where you are just starting, with somebody who's already established in the field. Or what do you think, Hanan?
Yes, totally agree, Dr. Nabila. Like, there is a book, actually, it's called The 12 Rules for Life, where
Mhm.
the doctor, I forgot wallah his name, but he mentioned never compare yourself to others, because everyone has a different journey in life. And I think this is very important. I think I can have some role models. Like, for example, if I like Dr. Nabila style, if I like Bob Proctor style, Miss Piggy McCall style, I will watch you in order to see what I can adapt in my trainings, what can I see in this, and create my own style, of course. But and it's important for me to compare myself yesterday to whom I am today. Like, one of the things I learned from you, Dr. Nabila, is to celebrate the wins. So before, I think it's because of my personality, I always give myself like tough goals. No, I need to do this, I need to do that. I missed celebrating the small things, which really can raise our vibration on daily basis. So I wasn't doing that before, but now I am celebrating more. I am tapping Hanan in the back. Hanan, well done. Like, I did it. I did this. It's and small achievement brings a small achievement, and until it accumulates to make a very big achievement.
I love it. So I think I shall say I did a good job, because I wouldn't let you off the hook, especially the days where you come, and you want to have a good cry, and And then I wouldn't let you off the hook, and I would say, still, what are the wins, Hanan? And then you start like trying to escape from the question and start right away with what's not working, and I wouldn't let you off the hook. Would you say that helped you shift your mind towards what's working? It was, of course, we do this deliberately just to help people shift their mind towards what's working and not focus on what is not working. This is really, really, really important, because there is good in the bad and bad in the good. Everywhere, in everything you can see around, there is a bit of good in the worst situations, and there is a little bit of worst case scenario in the best situation, and it's a matter of where do you want to put your attention, because where attention goes, energy flows. You are going to make more of that. Now, that was for me, that was really a great thing, since now you started shifting towards what is actually working. How did your experience of building your startup, or even personally, how did your experience in the elite mentorship program, how did it contribute to your success, professionally or personally, now, especially after the fact, after a few months of so to speak?
Actually, Doctor, there are, as I mentioned, there are several coaches that contributed to the success of Hanan Empire, and also my own efforts in doing it. So, for example, it was a daily commitment for myself. Like
Mhm.
after I finish work, I was already drained. Like I get drained from work, and I have quite a large team. So it is the commitment that every day I need to stand up for myself, because this is my passion. I need to go and work some more. And so I tried so many strategies when it comes to social media. I tried collaboration. I tried several aspects. And inshallah, this year also I am trying and experimenting few things as well with my business. Some of the strategies has failed, and some of the strategies were successful. So for me, I think one of the tips that I would give today, besides listing the daily wins, is to celebrate both failures and successes. So failure, don't be afraid like to make failures. It's fine, but always, try as much as possible when we take risks to make it calculated risks, but do not fear making risks, because again, as they mentioned, the higher the risk, the higher the reward, I think. So for me, I failed in some of the aspects, but again, I wasn't disappointed. At least I said that, okay, this strategy did not work. Let me work on something else. Let me work on something else. And alhamdulillah, I have my inner circle who were very supportive to me. They were always giving me ideas. They were always telling me, Hanan, you need to keep up, keep doing what you are doing. And as we also learned from you and from many coaches, Dr. Nabila, is there is a law of gestation. So we shouldn't expect things to happen overnight. We need to keep, as long as we are working on this goal, it will happen. It will not abandon us, but we need to give it a time that it needs to be realized.
Right, Hanan, we are going to get into the nitty gritty of picking your brains of how you started the empire. Let's put it this way, or your business from the beginning. Like, and I know, and I appreciate the fact that there are so many tips that we can give. Like, there could be hundreds of things we can advise people to do, but for somebody who is just starting, like a business, phasing out of the 9 to 5 a job, what would be the three essential things that they have to keep in mind so as their most dominant thought, the majority of their thinking is towards success, towards making the business successful rather than failing? What are three things that they have to necessarily do and not miss?
Okay, so first, before they move from their job, the thing that they will do, they must be passionate about it. They must be passionate about it, and they must be good at it. Like, we can always improve, but they must be good at it, and they must have a love for it. So this is, I think, I would say the key thing, because why I'm saying that, I have seen very smart individuals in my life that opened many businesses and failed, and this is not because they were not smart at all. It's just
Mm,
because they were like in this experimentation phase, like they are doing the thing, it's a business, it's a product, but they don't have a passion about it, they are not connected with it. It's just like a way to generate money. So don't think about generating money, think about your passion first. And when you secure that, go ahead. I think the second thing that I would recommend someone to do is to hire a coach. Yes, coaching is very expensive, but it's something that you deserve. It is something that I am evaluating myself. I care about Hanan, so I have my own coaches. So I feel like having a coach who's someone who can give you additional perspective, because yeah, it's good to talk to others, but it's also what we can call it. It can have a counter effect if you are telling your ideas to everyone around you. If they are not same mentality, they can cross your idea, they can drag you down with them. But when you have a coach, they will have always an objective idea, and they will always support you, even if let's say your idea is really bad, they will try to support you to see the light, or what you can really do with your skills. The third one, I think, as I mentioned before, is to get this, let's say, this habit of celebrating small wins, like to have a journal with all the wins, and not to have fear of failure, but just always document your successes.
I love it, love it, love it. This is so, so good. Dr. Hanan, thank you for sharing your wisdom, ya Hanan. Hanan, as we kind of slowly wind down into the end of this broadcast, um, what's next for you, ya Hanan? I mean, it's been like what? You've been 1 year
10
something,
months.
10
10,
months
10 months.
10 months in the business. Tell us a little bit, how do you kind of describe or assess these 10 months? And what are, for example, three things that you advise people not to do, for example, at the beginning?
At the beginning, okay, okay. So for the let's say the journey, it was ups and downs.
Yeah.
But again, what is making me carry on is my passion for it. Uh, so the things that I would advise people not to do, maybe to stay away from negativity, from negative people. I will also advise them to do one good exercise that I actually just learned recently, is to create a list. This list, you call it your happiness list. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
you dedicate the things that take no time and no effort, and things that take time and effort. So because sometimes if you are very much depressed, and we are human, sometimes we are up and sometimes we are low. What
Yeah.
are the smallest things that you can go and refer to it, and it will make your vibration high again, and full of good vibes? It could be like maybe a song on YouTube that you really like,
Dancing.
or dancing or whatever. It's different for everyone. Yeah, like for me, I like Zumba, but I don't know about the
Jumping
way
up and down,
yeah, whatever
grounding,
works for them. Yes. So
walking
every
barefoot.
yes, anything that that takes no money, no effort. So you have to have like a rescue. It will be like your rescue list whenever you
Yes.
are having down moment. Other things maybe that they do not have to do is that not talk to negative people. Maybe I don't have something right now in mind, but I think they have to be consistent. Don't say, for
Right.
example, don't leave it like a week and then come back to it. It doesn't work like that. You need to
Yeah.
have a commitment to your business in every day
Yeah,
basis.
yeah, yeah. If I may add to Hanan's list, and I caught Hanan off guard with the do not do list because we were not, that wasn't on our on our discussion. But something not to do is to overcommit, to say I'm going to do, and then you
Mm.
want to do a lot of things, and then you end up disappointed or you end up failing a lot of things. Much better if you under promise and over deliver, meaning you you pick one or two things, because starting a business, people think, oh yeah, starting a business is about showing up on social media and da da da, and then tell people and give people like a link to a funnel, and then people will start buying your course and you become a millionaire, no problem. People think it's like that, but it's not like that, because to build a brand online requires consistency. So it's much better if you say, I'm going to show up on LinkedIn twice a week or once a week, and consistently do it over months, if not years. It's much better than going on a yo-yo style where for 1 week you are posting every day and then the next week you are flat on your face. You say, oh my God, I don't have any more content, or I'm not ready, or I don't feel like it, or anything. You see what I mean? Consistency is the name of the game. You need to understand that building a startup is a marathon and not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a daily, a consistent effort. As Hanan said, it's discipline. It's bringing the persistence and the grit in terms of every day you return home at 3 p.m. and then you know you are going to do a couple of things, and then you are going to start working on your business. You need to find the motivation in doing this. And if you are doing something you are passionate about, this is going to be much easier, so to speak. But if you overcommit and then you are unable to deliver, that's probably the worst case scenario that can happen, because you start getting into the cycle of negativity, as Hanan rightly said it earlier. So what can I say? Oh my God, it's been such an incredibly inspiring thing to hear your story, Hanan, to hear where you're coming from and what you've been able to do. Hanan, do you recall or remember a particular anecdote or a particular day where you said, you know what, this is not gonna go, this is not gonna work, oh my God, and then you felt like going and hiding in bed and giving it a good cry, because all of us go through this, and what did you do about it?
Uh, no, I there was no a moment that I decided not to continue with the business, but I got my moments of depression. Like I cried, yes, and I was so upset. It could be about something like about a deal in the business or about something that didn't work as I expected. So I got frustrated. But I always like have this habit. Okay, it's today I can cry. Tomorrow it's a new day. I reset my mind and
Okay.
And there are many habits that you can do, or the watchers or the listeners who can do in order to reprogram their mind, like listening to positive affirmations. Of course, like as Muslims, we pray in the morning, we read adhkar. So all of these things really very good for us in order to reset our mood every day to the positive again.
Love
So
it,
yeah,
love it,
and
love it.
and sometimes if it's like not very, it's a little bit negative, but I didn't go to depression mood. I will go and take a walk on the beach because it's close to my home. So I will take this fresh air. It really helps me to restart as well.
My favorite also, walking barefoot by the beach. So, Hanan, this is such a beautiful testament to the power of vision, courage, and persistence. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and generously giving of your time and of your insights and of your knowledge, to be honest. So, thank you for coming on the call. Hanan, I believe you are having something big, something interesting, an event, or tell us about it.
Yes, so Dr. Nabila, actually, I am running a 6 week free workshop for whomever would like to join. It's free of cost. Actually, the registration closed yesterday, but I am willing to open it only for today for the people who is going to. Let's say respond to the or email us at support@hananempire.com. I am going to write it in the post in LinkedIn.
Okay.
So if they email my team today, inshallah, we can let them in. But basically, this workshop is about mindset. It will help also if there are people who would like to start up their own businesses. I'm sure that it can help them every week of those journey. We are going to address one topic. And in between I'm going to give practical exercises, so it is about their own life. It's not like a homework for school or anything. It's just to get them, work on themselves and let's say steer, their perspective on what's really important in life.
I love it. Oh my God, 6 weeks of free training. I would hop on this call, ladies and gentlemen. So, Dr. Hanan is going to drop the link in the chat, and she is generously opening the applications and the sign-ups just for the people who are attending this call. So if you are among the lucky ones, probably you may want to grab the link, which Hanan is going to drop in the chat right now, and then go ahead and if that is you who is after building your startup or want to know more about the insides of building a startup. Having said this, thank you so much, Hanan, and thank you to our listeners. Thank you for tuning in to the Quantum Leadership Hacks. We hope Dr. Hanan's journey has inspired you to explore the possibilities beyond the 9 to 5 and create your own path to freedom, whatever that means specifically for you. Dr. Hanan, final words.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nabila. And my final words would be, maybe you have the right to live your life majestically. So why not?
Majestically. I love it. I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being on the call with us. And having said this, she said her majestic word. I would happily invite you to join us every Monday. Next time, same place on LinkedIn at 7 p.m. KSA, 8 p.m. UAE time. I was so happy to host Dr. Hanan. And having said this, I will see you next time for more leadership insights and stories. Good night.